Hey everyone. Well, thank you all so much for hopping on today. I truly appreciate it. I want to be respectful of y'all's time. My name is Evan, and I do a lot of customer experience here at Playlister from start to, continued on. And I'm joined with the Playlister team as well today, and we truly appreciate you being here. So to get things started off, the reason why we are here today is for Playlister version 4 being launched, including the two main topics for today, scheduling and live streaming. So to give you a little background on Playlister overall, Playlister was launched in 2019 at Northview Church here in Carmel, Indiana. From that inception point on, we have shipped out updates every about 2 to 4 weeks. And since then, we have now served over 7,500 churches and continue to grow daily. And we appreciate all that you have done for us. And this is because of feedback driven by you guys to launch current and future development. And with that, we become the #1 trusted presentation tool by churches all like you. So thank you so much for that. And this has been shown by the 90+ 5-star customer reviews that we have received on G2 and a 95% excellence rating on Trustpilot. So again, thank you all so much for your constant feedback as we continue to improve from version 4 and beyond. So like we said, this is version 4 of Playlister, introducing 2 large critical features that were given from feedback by you guys. So let's get into the first part, which is scheduling. So I am going to bring over the Playlister Manage page. So to get things for live streaming is done by clicking on settings at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. And you'll notice under integrations will be a new section called live streaming. To add a live stream from your church into Playlister, you will need to click on Manage Stream. And from there, you'll have the opportunity to add streams into Playlister. So to add a stream, it first needs to be in HLS format. To get the HLS format, I would highly recommend to reaching out to your church directly or your live streaming directly to get it from them. From there, when you have the live stream URL, you can click on Add New Stream URL. You can type in the stream name. So for example, you might put church live stream and then add the stream URL there. Once done, press add stream and it will add it under here. From there, go to playlist. We're going to click and we're going to add the stream to the playlist. So you'll notice under libraries on the top right-hand corner, there is a folder that says streams. Click on the folder that says streams and bring over the live stream that you would like to. Click and drag it in where you would like. And that is how you go about adding a HLS live streaming feed into Playlister. So I want to take a second, and if you have any questions, we'd love to take them now. You can either type it down in the chat below or you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, so great question, Ed. This is live right now in all your Playlister accounts. And if you want to grab the if you want to grab the HLS link, I know Resi and Boxcast are 2 big providers that use HLS link, and you should be able to get that in your Resi or Boxcast dashboards. But almost any live streaming provider you're using to stream to your online services and stuff into signage displays should probably have an HLS link you could obtain.
Mm-hmm. And going upon what Chris said, we highly recommend you reaching out to your the partner that you use for your live streaming directly, and here's why. We've had a few churches during testing need something turned on in their account on their live streaming side for the HLS to work. So just make sure that you're reaching out to them directly I'm letting you know that, hey, we're going to be using the HLS feature of the live streaming just to make sure that they don't have anything that they need to turn on their end. Great question, Ned.
Yes, that is a good question there, Josh. So the HLSs are typically like kind of slipstream where it's almost like TiVo where it's pre-recorded. So you could actually pause and scrub it with the Apple TV remote. So you actually brought up a great use case. Live streaming baptisms in kids ministry spaces is something you could do with this to all your Apple TVs running Playlister. So what you could do is just pull it up and it would probably roll from either where it was at or the beginning, but you could fast forward or rewind if it is like a slipstream HLS link. How well does that answer your question? Okay, so Playlister does not show a preview thumbnail of the live stream in Manage. It does show kind of a preview thumbnail on the Apple TV app, but it's mainly of like, hey, once you open it up, it will start the countdown or whatever you had at the beginning of the live stream. Absolutely. Awesome. So some good questions about live streaming. If anyone else has any, feel free to just drop them in the chat and we can loop on back to those. But now Evan's going to move on to the even cooler part of Playlister 4.0, and that is scheduling for digital signage and other things. So take it away, Evan.
Yes, thank you so much. So the next thing is the scheduling for playlists to auto start at a specified time frame. So for this, to do this, create a playlist, and then on the left-hand side, click on schedule. And this is going to be the main hub of where you're creating the events to schedule those playlists out for specified timeframes. So we're going to go over this in two facets. One is going to be on a one-off event, and the second is going to be reoccurring. So to start off on a one-time event, we're going to click create event. And let's say that we want to select a specific screen, for example. So we're going to click on lobby, and then we're going to push next. And then we want the digital signage to go off on the lobby TV. So we're going to select the playlist, digital signage, and we're going to push next. And we want this to be a one-off event. So we're going to click off the one-off event. And we want this to showcase on Sunday. So we're going to click on Sunday. And we're going to want it to go off at 10:02 a.m. So we have it set to that. We press save. So now we know that the playlist digital signage is going to show on Sunday at 10:02 on the lobby TV. Let's say though at 10:30, the live stream is going to start because service is starting at 10:30. So we're going to create a reoccurring event this time. So we're going to press create event, and we are going to select a tag this time. So we want this to go on all the TVs in a specified area. So we're going to select a tag. We're going to select a lobby tag so it shows up on all the TVs. We're going to press next. We're going to add the playlist, and we want it to be the live streaming one this time. But I'm going to have to go back, and I'm going to have to add the live stream. There we go. So now we can go create event. We are going to then select a tag. So we're going to select lobby. We're going to press next. We're going to select a playlist. We want it to be the live streaming playlist. We're going to select next. And we want this to be a reoccurring event. So we always know that we're going to start at 10:30 every Sunday. So we're going to select the day that we like it to happen on Sunday. Let's choose 10 and let's make it 30. We're going to make it AM, press save. So now we know that the live stream is always going to start on Sundays at 10:30 a.m. on all the lobby TVs. But hey, what if I want the digital signage to start again once the playlist is over? Well, we can create another event for that. So we're going to create another event. We'll do a one-off again. So we'll just select the screen, lobby one, press next, select the playlist. We'll choose digital signage again, press next, and we'll have that one-off event selected for Sunday again. And we'll have it set for 11:15 a.m. Press save. And now we know the sequence. At 10 a.m., the digital signage is going to show up. 10:30, the live streaming is going to automatically populate. And then at 11:15, it's going to switch back over to that digital signage display again. With that said, about scheduling for playlists to auto start, what questions do you all have? You can either unmute yourself or add it down to the chat below.
So answering a question posted during Evan's talk there. So Braden, right now, live streaming is not supported at home. We will update you all if we add that functionality, but it's mainly for the Apple TVs right now. However, it would not function any differently if we did add it. So yep, it's pretty much just like, hey, we're dropping something in the playlister. Yeah, great question, Jennifer. So every TV operating playlister would need an Apple TV on it. And well, unless it's got a splitter. So think of it more like one Apple TV per environment you're using it. So if you've actually got a lobby display where you have maybe 4 separate TVs connected to an HDMI splitter, you'd only need one Apple TV there. Ditto for a large group Kidsman environment where you maybe got 2 TVs on the wall connected to one splitter, you'd only need one Apple TV. So it's really like one Apple TV per environment. Great question there, Billy. So pretty much anything with an HLS feed. So if you can get an HLS style stream from that provider, you should be good to go. But actually, if you send Evan and I an email after this with a link to that provider, we could take a further look into it and let you know if that's HLS compatible. Awesome. But as y'all think of questions, thank you very much for sharing that link, Ed. Be sure to check that out, everyone. But the live streaming combined with the signage gives you the opportunity to use Playlister in lots of interesting situations. So you can queue everything up as Evan showed you to have your digital signage go from signage loop to live stream. Back to signage, you can live stream to the Kidsman spaces, and you can even just automatically, start content in your kids spaces if you don't want. So it's like, hey, let's have some intro music and stuff kick off at like 9 a.m. or something. You can do that. Awesome. So yeah, if y'all have more questions though. Oh, we got 2 at once. No, there is no extra cost to the scheduling manager. So this should be in everyone's accounts right now that's on this call. If not, shoot me an email and I will get that turned on for you. But yeah, so we're just rolling it out gradually, and we'd love to hear feedback as we get it set up. Yes, so I saw Corey asked if there is full control via the Apple TV remote to the scheduling playlist. So you can always override whatever's happening on the Apple TV with the remote. So if you're like, oh, hey, we're gonna start scheduled content in the Kidsman room, but then the teacher is gonna control it, they could have complete control of that with the remote. Or if you're like, signage thing is, playing something and we wanna switch to a different playlist, if you got the remote, you can go ahead and switch that yourself. Yeah, so Billy asked, hey, can we adjust a scheduled playlist in real time? So the scheduled playlist will work just like the regular playlist when it comes to teeing them up. So every 30 seconds, it will get the update. So if it's 10 a.m. and your baptism was going to start at 10:30, but now it's going to start at 10:40, you can just change that to 10:40 in your scheduling manager, and that update will be reflected within under a minute. Great question, Braden. The auto schedule will only start if the Playlister app is open. So you'll want to have the Apple TVs powered on and open to Playlister in order to kickstart that. If the Apple TV is asleep, yeah, you'd want to wake it up. And what we'd really advise is use either an MDM tool to keep the Apple TV on and open to Playlister during your weekend service times, or just shut off sleep on the Apple TV, because as long as the display TV can go to sleep, that'll really mitigate any screen burn problems or whatnot. So yeah, just turn off the sleep and you should be good to go. Great question, Lee. So Lee asks, hey, is there any lag time for when the playlist actually starts on the screen, especially if you're starting multiple at the same time? There is not like much lag. So it's within a minute. It's under a minute. So it will start at the time you told it to. And we are actually making an update in Playlister to make the updates between the Apple TV and the signage manager, the scheduling manager, instantaneous. So there are even more updates on the way there. But yeah, if you say, hey, start at like 1:21 p.m. instead of 1:20, it would start on the dot. Then Jennifer, I see it says your account doesn't have scheduling in it. We will get that turned on right after this call. And then that is a good question, Lee. So right now, Playlister has no way to influence the TV's output volume, aside from like turning up the volume with the Apple TV remote. So we wouldn't be able to say, hey, start quietly or whatnot. But yeah, so right now there's nothing in the cards that would do that.
I'm muted.
Say one thing is, as I see Christy asked, can we kick off music from a streaming service like Spotify? So there are not, unfortunately, ways to connect the actual Spotify playlists into Playlister to start from Playlister. However, you can AirPlay Spotify to Playlister, or add MP3 files and music videos as items to your playlist, and then you can automatically start those with them being in the playlist. Absolutely. That's a great question, so keep them coming, y'all.
There was a question above missed from Brandon. If I wake up the Apple TV after a scheduled thing has started, will it launch, or will I be able to manually start it?
So yeah, and can you go ahead and answer that then for him, Evan?
If I wake up the Apple TV after a scheduled thing has started, will it launch?
Yeah, so basically what you'll want to do is it should, if you wake it up after it's scheduled, it should start playing, but just in case, you may want to like click it if you're already at the Apple TV using the remote. If not, you could adjust with the scheduler, per that thing. So yeah, but definitely, looking forward to hearing your feedback about the Apple TVs being, asleep and then turned on afterwards. So let us know how those situations go. All right. So right now media, yeah. So Chris Snyder asked, hey, how about like right now media videos? So If you have Playlister on your own Apple TV, you can, I think right now Media has an Apple TV app. So you can say, hey, when we play those videos, we'll exit Playlister and go there, check it out. If you, another option is you can upload those videos directly into Playlister in your media manager. So Evan, can you go to the media manager and show Chris where he can do this at? So yeah, right here, you can upload any video, image, or audio files and store them in your account. So lots of people upload like right now media and other things in here and add them to their playlists. Yes, so I see Jennifer asked about discounts for multiple screens. So once you get at the 20 screen threshold, there are discounts available for Playlister. And Evan and I are available to chat with like further questions you have on pricing and stuff. I see Corey asked, hey, how would you recommend setting things up with a pre-service loop for images and videos? So let's see. Corey's got a really specific scenario here. So
Hey, Corey, are you thinking about having like the pre-service loop and then you're switching over to a brand new playlist with the countdown? So with that, what it's going to be is just two separate playlists. So kind of like what we did here, just create two different playlists that are going to be totally separate. Make that pre-service loop kind of like this digital signage where it's always on auto advance. So it's just going to continue looping and looping and looping. And then create a scheduled time for that as well. So if you want it to go off every week, make it reoccurring. If you only want it to go off that Sunday or Wednesday or whenever you're doing it, do it on a one-time event. Then from there, create a whole new playlist, do the exact same, have it set for the exact time that you would like it to do that 1 minute countdown. And then once it's done, maybe have it auto advance to the first slide, and then they're ready to go with the remote. They're just going to be clicking on to next slide, kind of like it already is in Playlister. So yes, you can have it set for that pre-loop. And that's actually one of the things that a lot of our churches have been doing that's been test driving this feature is setting up that pre-service loop with all the, like VBS stuff and all that jazz. And then, yeah, they're having it switched over to their actual playlist with all the curriculum needs that they're going to need for their lesson. How well does that answer your question, Corey?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. My biggest question with that, how do you incorporate music into that without just uploading a bunch of songs and just like fitting the graphics into those timeframes? Is there a way to essentially create a playlist of the music that plays behind the graphics rather than graphics fitting into the time frame of the music?
Great question. So
can
the
you
way
show me the MP3 like dropping the images onto the MP3 files?
Yeah, and that is actually what Corey's already talking about, is the MP3s being in that method. MP3s always trump the slides per se. So in your case, what I would recommend is either creating the loop behind the scenes directly, if you want it to be in a reoccurring fashion, kind of like with the music and all the slides together per se. But in Playlister, you'll have to bring in the MP3 first, and then we'll bring that, and then you can bring in the slides underneath there. So we'll go to the digital signage, we'll bring slide 1, we'll drag it there. I got to move the chat out of the way. Here we go. Okay, we're just not working today. But you'll just add a slide, you'll add it under here, and then it would be good to go for you.
Yeah, that slide was actually a video. I don't know why it's called slide 1. So yeah, do slide 3 under it.
Yes, that makes sense as to why it wasn't working. There.
And then those graphics, they just based on however many you have in, for that song, that 3 minute and 9 seconds, however many graphics you have in there, it just splits those up to an equal time frame, or you just set the time frame of how much you want that to loop within that song?
Yes, you'll have to set it up yourself based upon the duration of everything. So you'll just add it in kind of like what we did before. You'll add the image there. You'll press auto
Okay.
advance after it, and then you'll set the set duration of what you would like it to be.
Okay, so you've got 4 slides there at 10 seconds each. It's just going to loop those that many times within that song. Okay.
Yep, and then you'll just have the
Cool.
video on looping. So I'm at the music on looping, okay?
Perfect.
Yeah,
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Always happy to help.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. What other questions are there? I know we're nearing the top of the time we had set here, but we're happy to run extra and chat. It sounds like we also have some new playlister partners in the call here, so the floor is also open if anyone of the more seasoned playlister veterans would like to share tips and tricks or advice for a lot of the stuff we've discussed. And Maria, I see it looks like the scheduler is not on in your account, so we will get that turned right on after this call. Great question. So Donovan asked, hey, is there a way to add text to a graphic in Playlister? So there is not at the moment. I know a lot of our partners use like Canva or Google Slides and then re-upload that in the Media Manager. This is a request though, and this is something we are thinking about potentially doing in the future. Although there are some other updates we're prioritizing right now before we get to that. All right. Okay, it looks like I lied. It was not turned on. The scheduler was not turned on for everyone on this call. So if you do not see that in your account, let me know and we will get that activated this afternoon pronto. Roger that. Thank you, Jordan. All right. Thank you, Corey. So, yeah, but we are super, thank you, Braden, super excited to hear how you all might use the scheduler and live streaming at your churches. So once that you've gotten a chance to try and set it up yourselves, we are super excited to hear how you use it. So after this call, if you don't have the scheduler set up, we will get that turned on. We'll also send everyone that joined today a recording and post the recording on our YouTube channel and Facebook group right after this. Awesome. So yeah, well, appreciate the chance to chat with everyone today. So yeah, shoot us an email. If we didn't turn the scheduler on in your account, we'll get that right on. But we're really excited to hear your feedback and look forward to talking soon and see how you all use Playlister 4.0. Awesome. So I think that wraps it up. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today.
Have a great day, everyone.